Hi, Desert Tech here. Got another unboxing for you. KD25F. Yep, this monitor right here. Hey, we've got Odin and Freya going to help us do the review today. There's Odin. And Freya, are you here? She's small, so I don't know if you can see her. There we go. All right, well, let's talk about this monitor here. You see I've already unboxed it, but that's okay. I had to get into it and play with it. So I was so excited to get this monitor. And I'm going to tell you all about it today and my experience with it. So what do you get in the box? I've already pulled everything out of the box here. So you get the monitor, and then I'll show you something here. The monitor, when it shipped, it's shipped like this in the styrofoam, and it clips onto here. What you'll see too is that this piece right here is separate, and you can get a coin or a screwdriver to take this bottom piece off. It's pretty nice. You get a RGB on the back and also on the back of the monitor. We clip this back on. It's super easy to see how easy that is. It just goes on without any tools. You will need a tool to put this bottom piece on there. Anyway, and then here's the box for it. Looks like that. And then here's the back of the box. Not too exciting. This is about the size of it. This is a 24.5-inch monitor. So I want to talk a little bit about this. I'll read some of the features off the box to you. Some of the features are 240 hertz. It actually really does that. I've used 240 hertz on a RX 5700 XT and on a 2070 Super, the NVIDIA product. And they both are able to achieve that, and it is G-Sync compatible in my testing, even though it's not officially G-Sync listed. So your results may vary, but I show that it does work. It recognizes it, and I ran a Modern Warfare Call of Duty, and it works fine. It comes right up. So other thing is 0.5 millisecond response time. It's very, very fast frame to frame. So it's just super quick and fluid. I think that's the #1 reason you would buy this monitor. I like the size of it. It's smaller. I had a larger monitor before this one. It took up more desk space, and I don't have a lot of desk space, so I went this smaller size. It has active noise canceling. You can plug your headphone into it, but I don't use that feature. It has Game Assist, which is just a feature where you can customize the cursor and your targeting. I don't use that. And then it has OSD Sidekick, which is a feature where you can modify all the settings that are in the monitor from the computer side. I think there's an on-screen display that you can see on your computer and change all the settings. That's a great thing on the Gigabyte, and I think some of the other monitors as well. But this is a Gigabyte Aorus KD25F, like I said. And it also, like I said, the FreeSync feature seems to work very well. A few of the things that you get in the box, a lot of people ask me, what do you get in the box on these? So I just pulled everything out. You get, obviously, like a US power supply cord. What's cool about this is, look, there's no power brick. Most of these products, there's a separate power brick that goes on the floor. This one doesn't need that, which is super cool. And just one less thing to worry about and get disconnected. It's nice. You can plug this in. So here's kind of the US version, maybe US and Canada. And then you get another power cord that looks like this one. I'm not sure what part of the world this goes in. It's got 3 prongs on it. It looks like that. And then you also get another power cord. This looks like a kind of a UK type power cord. It comes with it as well. You get 3. Interesting. You also get a HDMI cable, basic black HDMI cable, fairly short. I don't need one. I've already got a nicer one than this, but it comes with it. And then there's also a DisplayPort cable, and I've already got one of these too, but it does come with it, so just in case, you don't have to go out and buy one. Also, you get this USB cable that comes with it, which I do use. You need to use this to get the on-screen display function to work. And also you need this if you want to plug in other USB devices into the monitor. And then you get some rudimentary instructions. I haven't even read them. You don't need them. So I wanted to just take a minute to talk about a few of the features of the monitor, and I've already mentioned most of them already. I'll just go through it again. The FreeSync G-Sync feature is awesome. It makes for less screen tear. It syncs the computer with the monitor. That's just an awesome feature, and it's very smooth. I've tried it. It works great. 24.5-inch size, 240 hertz refresh rate, very fast and fluid, as long as your graphics card is strong enough to push that. 0.5 millisecond refresh, so it's still that's another rating of how fast it is. I was looked at another monitor that came out recently, an IPS that's 240 hertz, but it's only 1 millisecond. This one's twice as fast as that as far as the refresh goes. One thing that really surprised me on this monitor was color accuracy. It is super accurate color. I didn't expect that, and that's really not needed in this kind of monitor, but it's super color accurate, and so you could probably get away with using this for some design work. So I mean, that's something to think about. You know, obviously you might think about an IPS monitor for that, but and as you think about this, you know, you've got these kind of three levels of monitors. You've got the TN, the VA, and the IPS, and there's kind of different strengths for each one. TN is like the fastest one, generally. It's easier to display on that kind of panel faster with less ghosting and get to the next frame. One thing to think about too is these newer TN panels are much better than the older TN panels. I had a TN panel at least 10 years ago, and it was much worse than this one. This was very much more advanced. So TN panels have come a long way. And then there's the VA panel, which is, a lot of those you see are curved, and they're very good too, and they have very dark blacks. I really like those too. They're, to me, kind of a middle ground. Not everyone agrees with that. I haven't seen a super fast VA panel. And then the next thing is you've got IPS panel, which is always used for kind of more design work, any kind of area where you're editing photographs or videos or color. It's super accurate in that regard, and it's very sharp looking. Sometimes not as bright, but they're very good. And usually they don't have as much a faster refresh rate. But like I said, I did see one recently that was 240. I was kind of amazed at that. This one is really fast and amazing. I noticed too that the whites are very white and the blacks are very black too. I don't know what I was just thinking that maybe, you know, it wouldn't be bright enough being a TN panel as some of the other panels, but actually it's super bright. It's really so bright I had to turn it down. Kind of hurt my eyes a little bit of how bright the white is. I'm sure your experience will vary. So I was really happy with how bright it was and how white the white is and how black the black is. Very nice. I didn't see a lot of color bleed. I didn't see any missing pixels on this one either, so it's one of the more perfect ones. As I said, there's no power brick. That's a real cool feature. The on-screen display is very nice too. So what are the cons about this? That was, you know, some of the pros to buying this monitor. Some of the cons are the letters are not as chiseled or sharp as I've seen on a VA or IPS, but they're good. They're just not quite as sharp as I've seen. Another con is 1080p. You know, you see a lot of monitors now that are 1440p or 4K. This is still 1080p. And it's a lot easier for your graphics card to fill up the frames for 1080p and achieve those higher frame rates than it is for 1440p or 4K. So this is just a really good size, a really good resolution for, you know, fast moving games. Even videos look very good on here because the color's good and the refresh is super smooth. Really nice. I really like the TN panel. Some people are, you know, doubting that TN panel is still a thing these days, but it's still very good for high refresh rates. And it's still, I would say this panel is a lot better than years ago, like I said. The angles on this one, they say, are 170 degrees horizontal and 160 degree vertical, like 170 looking on here and 160. If you turn it a certain angles, you're going to see the color doesn't look good. And that's still true, but it's not nearly as bad as the older TN panels. So, just to wrap up here, I recommend this product, and I got it for $359 instead of the list price of $499. So the price is great right now. So the desert is calling, and I must go and click like and subscribe.